and as an avowed Hudist, why doesn't anybody believe Jesus? Any comments? Why not believe Jesus? Everyone nowadays, right, wants to kill so that they're not killed. Kill first. Why doesn't anybody believe Jesus? Where does this kill first mentality come from? Is that Christian? Is that Jesus? Why?
Sounds like it comes from fear of dying.
Well, fear of dying, but it's worse than that. It's fear of Jesus.
Self and other.
Right? Fear of Jesus, right? And his message. Fear of the heart. Okay? Fear of the heart of compassion. Okay? Fear of the way of the masters, the way of sacrifice. Sacrificing life for the sake of, let's say, the reality before us. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about martyrism, but we certainly have enough martyrs to go around. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. We're talking about awakening from the heart as the heart to humanity, which could be considered a Christian ideal. It could be considered a Buddhist ideal. It is a Buddhist ideal as well. It is a Hindu ideal. In other words, it's a native ideal, see, to be kind to other peoples. Now, we've created a system out here, world politics, that does nothing to neutralize this, in fact. See. But we're doing a lot to polarize it and make it worse between countries. See. Sure, we're an open country up to a point, but even our own system is decrepit, ancient, and worn out, and full of a lot of problems. See. Why? Because you didn't really follow Christ. So you don't really know. If you want to call yourself a Christian nation, but you're not doing what he said to do to find out if what he was really doing and saying would have made a difference, because we've never assumed that in this country. So we never know. It's always about defense by guns. Killing first. Kill or be killed. When do we think Earth is ready to be able to put that particular program down? See, and have an active, real United Nation conference or Congress come together to see if we can create something along the lines of agreement, see, to drop the kill or be killed notion of politics, survival, let's say. It's got to come from the top somewhere. Somebody's got to put this out there. See? Martin Luther King did what he could for civil rights. Now we're talking about spiritual rights, not just civil rights. What about spiritual rights? With all due respect, Martin, we need spiritual rights out here. Right? It's not just like our nation's at stake, the universe is at stake. We are the universe, not just we are the world. No disrespect, Michael Jackson and cohorts. No, we are the universe. The heart is the universe. The universe is the heart. And until we get to a place where we're willing to live from this, we can't expect our alien, so-called alien, but intergalactic brethren to come in and participate more blatantly. See, in goodness, in the spirit of goodness, until we come to terms with our own self-division. Self-other division and so on. Our own inner conflict, our own inferiority complexes. Earthlings, your inferiority complexes. Say, humans, your inferiority complexes. We haven't come to terms with that. Right? Because we're not here to be inferiority complexes. We're here to be heart beings. See? To one another and to others, if we have the heart and courage to do it. But having a gun is not going to be able to do that for you. Okay. But we are in a mess because it's all about kill or be killed. That's a mess. That's an anti-Christian mess. Okay.
Does kill or be killed have a different message, say, on a city street than it does on a battlefield?
It's all the same. It's just spread. The disease is spread. See? It's just widespread. I mean, we've created that. You know, I hate to put Hollywood into it, but you know, it's glorified. If you don't have a certain amount of violence reflecting what the world we already see too much of with violence, come on now. I mean, you got to be pretty deprived, man, to think that, well, that's the right thing to do. Yeah, for you, to get your awards, to get your money, to make your millions, and more kids go down the tubes because of it. Okay, we have to see this. This is a universal problem. It's a universal issue.
How much of an about-face did Jesus do to go against the standard culture of his day and have this heart message?
How much of an about face? Why would you call it an about face?
Was
He just did what he had to do.
But was that his culture of the time? It seems.
Well, he was part of an esoteric culture. And so we are all part of an esoteric culture. In other words, there are many different levels of culture functioning at the same time. Simultaneity is what we're talking about. The creation, spontaneous simultaneity, creation, let's say theory. So while you have others on one level of reality, in order for there to be that reality, you have to have others on many other levels of realities to more or less enable that to be what it is. So there's not just one reality, like there's not one leaf on a tree. We're talking about the universe. The universe means all of it, many, infinite, right? And so we have all of these levels going on, and they were going on during Jesus' time and way before Jesus' time, even during more prehistoric times. We had levels of beings being born here, which is a spiritualist, let's say, understanding or theory. That you have, even at the lowest, primitive, you have relative grades of intelligence and consciousness. So you always have leaders, you always have slaves, you always have even sub-slaves, those who are barbarians or brutes. You have them, but they're in progress. All the people are in progression. All the species, all the levels are progressing. This is part of the spiritualist doctrine. Okay? And so everyone has a chance to upgrade, to progress, to become good, from dark to light. See, from evil to goodness to enlightenment. See, through learning, by giving opportunity or creating opportunity. See, and maybe learning lessons of what love is, even at the basic level of family, and caring for one another. And then from there, grow, expand into, let's say, the earth family. If that could ever be, it doesn't seem like that's possible. It will take the miracle of genius to create that. And saying, okay, now it's time for us to stop and take a pause. Now, we care for each other, we care for our families. Let's all agree to stop. Boom, 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 boom. On this day for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days before whatever else. We can do that.